I have a lot of climbing shoes. My name's Kinley, and I'm a local climber. I've been in Squamish about 22 years. Love it here. People often ask me where my favorite place to climb is, and honestly, it's at home. I would say kind of all climbing makes me excited. I like to go out no matter what. It's all about the people and the places. However, I tend to really like technical face climbing, so crimpy, balancy, maybe slightly overhanging. I love crack climbing. I have a lot of climbing shoes. I would say in my active rotation, maybe 6, 7 pairs. Some of the advantages of having multiple shoes for me is one, fit. Some are really comfortable, moderately comfortable, some are really tight. So depending on the objective of the day, whether it's a long multi-pitch, if I'm guiding versus like a technical pair, the advantages is having a lot of pairs wears them out at kind of a more even rate, and often it makes each pair last quite a bit longer. They do wear out eventually, and so if I have a few pairs, I can send some in to get resoled and still have pairs available, and I'm not as stressed about waiting for my shoes to come back from the resoler. One of the shoes I use the most, both as a workhorse and a really technical specialist, is the Katana Lace women's. This shoe is excellent for crack climbing, for thin cracks. I find it really comfortable. It's fairly wide through the midfoot, fits my heel really well, and also allows a lot of pressure to be centered over the big toe. You'll probably notice I put shoe glue over the uppers. It actually just prevents me from putting holes in the upper where my knuckle sits under the shoe. Crack climbing wears this part out really quite fast. So a little trick to extend the life of your shoe. I have another pair. So the pair that I have had resoled a bunch, this is my guiding pair, really comfortable, could wear them all day without unlacing them. This same size, but a bit newer, I wear them a little bit less, and I kind of use them for my personal multi-pitch and trad objectives, a little bit crisper, tighter. So I have a third pair of Katana Lace women's, and these are a half size down from those ones. So for example, these are 37.5, these are 37. They're really snug. They fit really well for both hard edging and also technical crack climbing. So thin cracks, getting that toe in there, jamming it in, they're excellent. This shoe also I find really versatile in terms of it can smear really well, it can power edge really well, it crack climbs really well. It does have a little bit of an aggressive profile, however, it breaks in pretty fast and it performs incredibly well on slabs. It's a nice mix of sensitivity and also pretty stable platform to stand on for longer days. Some alternatives, if these don't fit quite the way you'd like, is the Katana Lace, TC Pro, or Miura Lace Up. The shoe I wear the most for sport climbing and some technical faces is the Miura VS. This is a great shoe for spanning a variety of kind of steeper climbs where I can still pull with the toe. It's downturned enough for that, whereas I could also climb really techie face and stand on my toe with a lot of power. I typically wouldn't crack climb in this myself, just the way my knuckles get bunched up in the end. I size these down quite a bit from my Katanas. So these are 36.5 and my Katana all-round shoes are 37.5. So a whole size down. Sizing it down drives my foot forward and allows me to have so much power in the front of my toe for standing on really small things. Some alternatives to the Miura VS would be the men's model of the Miura VS. Another alternative for the Miura VS would be an Otaki. It is a great all-round shoe. I find this performs pretty similarly for me as the Miura VS. It's a great all-round shoe. I spent tons of years actually crack climbing in a bigger pair and sport climbing in a smaller pair. Now I use these kind of as a warm-up pair. Sport climbing, they've been resold a bunch. They're still an excellent shoe. I use a warm-up pair often to save my non-resold shoes to keep their stiffness intact. The Skwama is my last pair of my fleet. I admittedly boulder a little bit less, especially outside, than all the other styles of climbing. I find these to be excellent bouldering shoes, both indoors and outdoors. Tons of rubber on the toe for toe hooking. Lots of rubber on the heel for all sorts of heel hooking. The split sole creates a really soft bottom. It's still supportive through the toe, but the ability to pull with the toe to toe in on that steep terrain. They have enough support when we get into vertical terrain that I can still stand on pretty small things. I do find with the split sole, standing for a long period of time on small edges, my feet get a little bit tired, but typically on boulders, that is not really an issue. Some alternatives to the Skwama. If this doesn't fit your foot, or you would like a ever so slightly stiffer shoe or slightly lower volume shoe, the Solution Comps can be a really good option. Another alternative, the Mandala, is a little more aggressive, a little bit more downturned, and it also has the no edge technology. So in summary, I have a bunch of shoes and I love having a bunch of shoes. Having so many allows me to wear out the shoes kind of like at a slower pace. It also allows me to send them away for resoling more often. Also, not having to break in shoes as often is great. It's more comfortable. You kind of know what to expect in terms of the fit. So if you would like to work together with Kinley Aitken Guiding, definitely get in touch anytime. You can contact me through my website, kinleyaikenguiding.com, or on Instagram, Kinley Aitken. I offer a bunch of different stuff: guiding, multi-pitch, single pitch, movement, mindset, and also coaching. If you'd like to try on some shoes or check out other climbing gear or apparel, Climb On is the spot, in store or online at climbonequipment.com.